What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, back again. Tom and I recently did a video talking about the craziest comic book sales that we've been reporting on over the last year or so, and the top dog on that list being an AF-15 CGC 9.6 that broke an all-time comic book record, selling for $3.6 million. Well, around that same time, a registry collection came to auction and broke all kinds of records with high-grade Spider-Man keys. Tom, why don't you let them know what a registry collection is?
Well, the Certified Guaranteed Company, CGC, which is one of the primary graders in our market, they have an opportunity for buyers to actually input what comics that they've purchased and own. So there's this almost subcategory. It's not a pedigree per se, but a status of runs that exist. And when these are able to be seen publicly because members input their own collectibles, some runs start to become prestigious within themselves. And the top dog for the ASM highest graded run came to market over this last 2 weeks. We saw sales that we have never seen hit the public before and in quite some time.
So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at all these record-breaking Spider-Man keys, what they went for prior, what the new record-breaking sale was, and more. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss one. You know, I got a big giveaway going on for our next subscriber milestone of 150K, and I'll give you more details at the end of the video. For now, let's jump into this list.
First comic we're talking about, and this is a list, by the way, in order of lowest to highest new record breakers. We're talking Amazing Spider-Man issue number 46, the first appearance of the villain, the Shocker. Back in 2013, could have been secured for $10,000. That's up 50%, selling for $15K, and it was a CGC 9.8, a flawless copy.
This was always one of those Silver Age Spider-Man villain keys that was pretty affordable until he showed up in the MCU, and now we have this 9.8 record-breaking sale. Moving on, we have Amazing Spider-Man Annual 2, a CGC 9.8. This is the first meeting of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, which is fitting because we know that's going to be the team-up in Spider-Man's latest movie, No Way Home. Now, Doctor Strange did have a brief cameo in Amazing Spider-Man 1, but the two didn't actually meet. This CGC 9.8 sold for $1,000 back in 2015, and it's up 1,820%, selling for $19,200.
We're going to keep the ball rolling with more Spider-Man spec. We have Amazing Spider-Man issue number 18, the first appearance of Ned Leeds, who would later become Hobgoblin. We also have the third appearance of Sandman and the fourth appearance of Kraven the Hunter. A 9.8 came back up to market. We haven't seen one since 2012. Last selling for $16,730. That's up 43%, selling for $24K this week.
24 karat gold, baby. Moving on, we have Amazing Spider-Man 44, another CGC 9.8 hit the market. It's the second appearance of the Lizard and often was the next best thing to his first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 6. The CGC 9.8 sold for $4,600 back in 2002, and it's up 422% with this new record-breaking sale of $24,000.
Solid gold indeed. Next on the list is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 17, the second appearance of the Green Goblin. William Dafoe, where you at? We think we heard his laughter in the trailer. I suspect that he will make an appearance regardless. This second appearance is seeing some major gains. Last selling for a 9.8 back in 2011 for $21,500, up 23%, selling for an all-new high of $26,400 this past week.
Yeah, don't sleep on them second appearances. A lot of time collectors get the first appearance and they're not done collecting. They go for the second, or they want to put a run together, or you just want Silver Age 9.8 goodness. Moving on, we have Amazing Spider-Man 50, a CGC 9.6 hit the market, the first appearance of the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, and the classic Spider-Man No More story. We're talking about a book that sold for $21,600 back in January, up now 39%, selling for a smooth $30K.
We're hearing rumors that Wilson Fisk may make an appearance in the upcoming Hawkeye show this November, which kind of lends credence to the Spider-Man No Way Home appearance of Charlie Cox reprising his role as Daredevil. But I digress, because we got to talk about Dr. Doom in Amazing Spider-Man issue number 5, the first battle between our web slinger and Dr. Doom. A 9.6 selling for $23,500 back in 2018, up 43%, now selling for $33,600.
And speaking of Daredevil, we have Amazing Spider-Man 16 on the list. Must be some kind of speculation thinking that they'll have a connection in the MCU, whether it be in No Way Home or in the future. Either way, the CGC 9.8, which sold for $17,500 back in 2018, is up 106%, now selling for $36,000.
Even minor Spidey villains are seeing a major uptick in price, especially if it's early in the run, especially if Steve Ditko drew them, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. Amazing Spider-Man 26, the first appearance of the Crime Master. Back in 2016, a 9.8 sold for $18,000. That's up 113%, selling for an all-new high of $38,400.
And I suspect that's what's going on with this next book as well. Amazing Spider-Man 35. It's the second appearance of Molten Man, but I think it's just the coveted Silver Age CGC 9.8 that makes it attractive. We're talking about a book that sold for $19,977 back in 2013, up 92%, now selling for $38,400.
Geminites, notice how long it's been since we've seen high-grade Spidey like this hit the market. There's no surprise. We are in a market landscape that's never been experienced. That's why we're seeing all of these come to market in such a short amount of time. Let's take a look at Amazing Spider-Man 51, the second full appearance and cover appearance for the first time of the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk.
Also the first appearance of Robbie Robertson, and I think that's what's causing this book to spike in other grades as well. They're ready to see a Robbie Robertson in the MCU. A CGC 9.8 had no prior sale before this book, so this one set the bar at $31,200. Next on the list is a familiar one. We're talking Amazing Spider-Man 13, the first time we see Quentin Beck suit up as the villain Mysterio.
The 9.6 came to market for the first time publicly since 2012, selling for $33,500 to be outdone with an increase of 36%, selling for an all-new high of $45,600.
And before we continue with the list, we got to give a big shout out to Key Collector Comics, the application that compiles and stores all of this data. Tom, let them know how they can get a free subscription.
The Geminites can utilize code TOM101 to unlock a free 2-week subscription to get access to the app in its entirety. However, the majority of the app can be experienced for free, available for both Androids and iPhones.
Yeah, so thanks Key Collector, and a big shout out to the sponsor of this video. How fitting, that's SpiderManBooth.com. They have the $30 mystery boxes where you get 5 comics of retail value. One of those lucky boxes is going to have their GP, their giveaway prize, which is the key issue comic that you see on screen. Use code GemMint to save 10% every time you buy a box there, just like their parent site Street Level Hero. SLHLA.com has exclusive variants with new drops every Tuesday and Thursday. You can save 10% off of any item on the store every time you shop there by using code GemMint at checkout.
Next on the list is Amazing Spider-Man issue 11. This is the second appearance of Doc Ock, and it'll make more sense why we're seeing such gains in a moment. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button. You know that made the list. We have a high sale that started back in 2011, setting it at $20,750 to be outdone with an increase of 102%, now selling for $42,000.
The second appearance is showing some love, and a third appearance here on our next book, Amazing Spider-Man 23, the third time we have the Green Goblin in a comic book. Now, Norman Osborn has a brief cameo as well, but it's not yet revealed that he's actually the villain. No prior record for this sale. We have a CGC 9.8 that set the bar with this new sale of $45,600.
And we're going to go back a couple issues in this run, but for a major first appearance, we're talking the first appearance and origin of the Scorpion in Amazing Spider-Man 20, but also a 9.8. Back in 2013, selling for $18,200 to be outdone with an increase of 164%, selling for an easy $48,000.
Another Spider-Man villain that was super affordable back in the day, but ever since Matt Gargan hit screen in Homecoming, it's just been a matter of time before we'll see him suit up as Scorpion. Next on our list, another Spider-Man villain, ASM 41, the first appearance of Rhino in a CGC 9.8. This book sold for $12,750 back in 2012, and it's up 371%, now selling for $60,000.
Next book on the list is a comic that we've chatted about, Gem, multiple times on our Hot 10 Comics list, a weekly video that we do over on my channel at Comic Tom 101 here on YouTube, where we talk about these types of record breakers, the height of the market, the health of the comic industry, the blue chip keys. This book, Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1, has been hot month over month, and we saw a 9.6 come to market.
This is an awesome book, a square-bound white Steve Ditko cover, first appearance of the Sinister Six, third appearance of most of the villains on this team, and awesome pinups within as well. Now, that 9.6 that Tom mentioned sold for $15,200 back in 2009. It's up 413% with this new record-breaking sale, now selling for $78,000.
Now keep this in mind, Gemini. This near $80,000 market leader for a 9.6 is nearly 3 times as much as what the only 9.8 sold for back in 2012. It's a pedigree. Regardless, it sold for $28,643 back then. Imagine if this comic came back to market.
Yeah, I'm thinking for $100K easily. Next book on the list, Amazing Spider-Man 31, another 9.8. You've seen why this registry collection was so impressive. This is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy and of Harry Osborn and Miles Warren, the professor that would later become Jackal, a triple threat key. But man, I really dislike that cover. But anyway, that 9.8 hasn't had any prior sales, so this one set the tone, selling at $96,000. Tom, what do you think about this cover?
This is one of the worst Spidey covers in the Silver Age. I mean, it's so prestigious because of its key significance. I mean, Gwen Stacy, Harry Osborn, major characters, beloved by all. But yeah, Spidey's face in the center, white negative space, I'm not digging it.
Well, the next book on the list is a cover that everybody loves. Amazing Spider-Man 9, the first appearance of Electro. He's on the cover. He's whooping Spider-Man's ass. And we're talking about a CGC 9.8. The book that sold for $58K back in 2013 is up 128%, now selling for $132,000.
Oh, we just broke the 100K marker, Geminites. Hit the like button and let's chat about ASM3. I warned you. First appearance of Dr. Octopus, a 9.6 back in 2016, selling for $54,500, to be outdone by a staggering 164%, selling for an all-new high for the first time ever of $144K.
Now, there was a couple of funny typos in the early run of Spider-Man. Peter Parker was called Peter Palmer. In this issue, he was called Superman rather than Spider-Man. I'm surprised DC didn't try to sue them for that. But this was also the first appearance of the Spider's Web, the question answer section in the back of the book. So cool to have. And moving on to the next book on the list, another mainstay villain of Spider-Man lore, Amazing Spider-Man 14, first appearance of Green Goblin.
This is also the first battle between Spider-Man and the Hulk, and we even see a little bit of that featured on the cover. We have a 9.8 that came to market. We haven't seen this book since 2015, selling for $54,970. Gem, you do the honors.
Yeah, this new sale, 282% greater, selling for $210,000.
Hot damn, Geminites, this is nuts. I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section, Gem. Some people have to be scoffing at these prices, but others, I think we're expecting this day to happen at some point.
Yeah, man, all the books that are taking off make sense based on what's going on in the media. And then when you have a registry collection like this, like what I like to consider a modern day pedigree collection of high grade Silver Age books, the books that are going up should be going up. Where's DC at? Anyway, number 1 on this list, it was going to be Amazing Fantasy 15, the 9.6 sale, but we mentioned that in the last video. We mentioned that in the intro. So how fitting is it that Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 is the top dog on this list? And we're talking about a high grade book, a CGC 9.4 for the second appearance of Spider-Man, but the first meeting of Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, first appearance of the Chameleon, the half brother of Kraven the Hunter, and of course J. Jonah Jameson. Tom, you do the honors.
We have a record set for a 9.4 back in 2017, in January specifically, because there was more than one sale, but this was the highest that year, selling for $150,000, to be outdone. Market correction. We knew it was coming, and it's here. It's landed. An increase of 61% with an all-new high of $241,000. And I don't even really care for this cover.
Yeah, I can understand that criticism. I like the cover way more than Amazing Spider-Man 31. But guys, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm doing a big giveaway for the next subscriber milestone of 150K, and I'm giving away this Deja Thoris premium format statue by Sideshow. All you gotta do is be subscribed, leave a like, and comment below. Once we reach the milestone, I'll pick a random video where I promoted this giveaway and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. Also, if you're liking this type of content, you gotta swing on over to Comic Tom 101. We do 2 videos a week there, counting down record-breaking sales from these hot back issues. And Tom has a lot of other cool stuff going on there as well. Let him know what you got going on at Comic Tom 101.
As Gem just mentioned, we do a Hot 10 and an Honorable Mentions video every single week talking about these types of blue chip keys, these major record breakers. But I also have Overstreet Price Guide advisors on my show to discuss trending books of the week, some of the more recent stuff that comes out, and some that may surprise you that you may own in your back issue bin. Come over and say hi. We also do a podcast where we talk about expensive paper every single week, and we go pretty long.
That's right, so come check us out over there, and we appreciate you guys watching, but don't go anywhere. We have a ton of other content for you guys to check out, and as always,
Geek responsibly, Geminites.
and stay minty fresh. Peace.